Hello everybody, this is Japhet from the Arc of Trading, and I'm back with the daily top 10 for today. We're here to analyze the trending stocks objectively, and we will see what the price action takes us for today's trending stocks. So we're gonna look at them and we're gonna analyze them, and hopefully by the end of this you pick up something from this video. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button right here. It literally takes a second to do that, and you'll be notified. If you turn on that notification bell, you'd be notified whenever I upload my new video, maybe the daily top 10 or my tutorials that I upload every weekend. So stay tuned for that. And if you're a returning viewer, please don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. Let's hit at least 30 likes on this video. It helps us a lot, helps us push this video out to more people so that they could also be, watching these analysis and pick up something from it. So first up, I want to talk about my Instagram's account right here. If you're not following, don't forget to check out the link. I think it's down below. Check it out. I post my live charts up here during market hours, and you could follow that and see live updates from me. So yeah, don't forget to click the link below for my Instagram's account. And then now let's move on to our market summary. So the market summary is not updated for today, but we see especially for the foreign net, it's not updated on Instagrams just yet. But right now we see our PSE index move on the upside pretty well at positive 76.77 points, or 1.12% change, and we see all of our sectors on green today. So that's good, and we can see that reflect on our chart right here for PSEI. Let's see what happened. So the support that we put up at 68.50 to 6900 held up, and we are still within that level of support. So that's good for PSE. It found a place that it settled, and hopefully it retests this trend line and potentially break above that and try to attempt to break this resistance at 70-80 points. But today it's good that we see a positive movement on the upside, and this support level held, the one we drew from weeks back, and yeah, it finally retested it and held up. But yeah, anything can still happen once it hits this trend line. We could probably see a rejection there, but it can also break out of that depending on what happens next week. So today's a Friday, we have the weekend ahead of us, and hopefully good things happen throughout the weekend, and our investors gain more confidence for our index. So yeah, let's move to our first trending stock in PHA. Wild movements from PHA today, especially with this huge candle. I posted about this earlier. Definitely had a push on the upside from this support level, our 2.65 support level. It pierced it for a little bit right there, wicked out, but then it rallied for the whole day. So yeah, opening, a lot more people just dumped and probably cut their losses, but I don't know, someone big bought in and then it pushed the price really huge on this one. So great move. If you're able to catch it here at the support level, that is good, but I'm expecting hopefully a pullback right around this price point at 2.8, the top of our range right here. So I hope that it does pull back and build a support right here at 2.8, so that we are able to maintain this healthy movement for PHA. So watch out for this. Definitely everyone wants to get into this, and if I were you, I'll wait for a pullback first before getting in on this one and having it build a support level around this range, 2.65 to 2.8. So it held up. It's a good sign, and definitely a range that you should be looking at if you want to buy into this. So yeah, this is a good range to buy. I've stated this since last week, I think. Yeah, this was the range that we were looking for it to hold up. So it did, which is good. It closed at 2.9, positive 10% for today. That's huge, and a lot of net foreign at 11.69 million. That's really good. Let's move to APL for our next one. So APL is still stuck in this gap and hopefully support, acting as support. So it did not keep pushing on the upside, but rather we were hit with a ceiling right around here at 29. So we are looking at that as our immediate ceiling, our immediate resistance, but we have this gap at 25.50 holding as support, 25.50 to 20.28. So that's holding hopefully as support right here, right around this level. So that's a good, price point to accumulate shares for APL. So right now it's on a short-term downtrend if we look at it, but on our daily time frame, it's there. It's moving past our resistance slowly but surely. So hopefully it does build a level of support right there at 27.50, and if it does, that's a good range that it could maintain and create a level of support right here. So we shall see what happens for APL. This is a good range that it's holding, so I have nothing to worry about for now if if you bought around this price range. So yeah, just watch out for a smaller time frame support area that you might be looking at for it to break or below, if you are going to like cut your losses and whatnot for this one. But yeah, definitely on our 1 hour time frame, it's pulling back from this rally since last week. Yeah, it was down at 0.2, and then yeah, it rallied about 0.1 today. So I mean, not today, the past week. So definitely expecting some pullbacks and people taking profit on this one. So up next we have Dito, still holding strong. Not much movement today because we closed at 17.94 and gained less than 1% with a lot of net foreign, like a lot of our foreign investors coming out at 9.89 million. So that's a lot of net foreign coming out. More net foreign was coming out, but we were able to hold this level right here. So definitely this is kind of a solid support now right here. It's definitely a level that we are watching at around, what's this? It was at 17.3. So let's just put it at 17.1 to about 17.5. So that's a level that I'm watching that will hopefully hold as a support. So 17.1 to 17.5 right here. And if it does hold that, hopefully we do see, a bounce on these areas if ever it does pull back, and hopefully it holds up. So yeah, that's a good area to watch, especially we're nearing March and their launch date. So maybe this is why it's holding up, and we are past the resistance from before, so, or the all-time 52-week high. So we just passed that at 17.3, so it could act as a support from now on, but definitely holding this range that we have, and we still have our ceiling right around 18.11 or 18 point. Yeah, that's our immediate ceiling at 18.1 levels. So we should see what happens for Dito. For me, consolidation, everyone's accumulating, no one's winning yet. So the sellers and the buyers are just agreeing that this is a great price point. Up next, we have ACEN closing in at 7.8 with less than 1% loss. So more net foreign as well, but we are still maintaining this range, and it attempted to pierce through this resistance that was existing from early January. So it's still holding this up. I mean, I would put it as a range right here. There's definitely another resistance right here, because it was failing to break above 8 point 8.12 or 8.1 levels. So definitely two resistances there, but we always see our candles close below here at 7.9. So that's a pretty strong resistance still at 7.9, and this is our support range at 7.6.75. So the buyers and the sellers are still agreeing that this is a great price point for it right now, and no one is winning so far. So but if you ask me, since we've been going on a slight uptrend right here, it's only a matter of time before it breaks above this ascending triangle pattern that is showing right now. So watch out for this one, I guess, for ACEN, and just accumulate when you can. Up next, we have some great movements from BSC today. We saw it break above our immediate resistance right here. So it closed at 1.27 or 8.55% up with a lot of net foreign at 9.31 million. So it broke our, well, not broke, but like it pierced through our 4-hour time frame resistance at 1.21. So I am hoping that even if this pulls back, it will be settling around the price point of 1.21 or above. So hopefully it settles around this resistance zone and it holds it as support, because that's a great price for it to trace back. And if you were, yeah, we're definitely going to be seeing this trend line hold as well. This is kind of like ACEN, if you ask me. So hopefully this holds back. I mean, this is also a trend line support if it pulls back right around 1.2. So that is definitely a great price point to get into if ever we see a pullback right here for BSC. Yeah, just stay patient on this one and wait for what happens if it does pull back, because right now might be a little too far. I think you could still get this cheaper, and hopefully it does settle above 1.21 for its healthy movement. So yeah, that's good for BSC on that huge candle right here on the upward movement. That's good. I like what it did today, so I'm definitely just waiting for a pullback to see if it's moving healthily on the upside. So up next we have green. Man, we haven't looked at green in a while. What did it do today? So it just maintained the consolidation right here. It just maintained, let's see the 1 hour. Yeah, it just maintained this resistance as support. Definitely consolidated a little bit here, but it's still on a downward trajectory since creating that lower high right there. But it's holding this as a level of support right around this area. So our resistance at 4.05 held up as support, and it definitely saw a bounce towards the end of the day, but on the daily time frame that's still a loss because we opened at 4.44, but it closed at 4.2, so that's a loss of 4%. And a lot of foreign buyers or investors were coming out. More foreign investors were coming out and selling this instead of buying. So, but at least the resistance from before held up as support, which is good, and we are seeing it just maintain that price range. So yeah, the pullback was expected. I honestly didn't expect it to keep rallying. I was hoping that it would move healthily and pull back at 3.7, but it didn't. So it pushed up instead. So now I think it could potentially get rejected right here at this price, and then maybe pull back and then get rejected again on that price, and then maybe retest this level right here. Not sure what could happen, but if this support holds, that's all right as well, because we could see a bounce from here and then could see it take off from there. So there are two options right there. I just showed you both of the options, but definitely if this support holds, this is the first option, and if it doesn't hold, it could break down and potentially see a downward movement and retest of this. So yeah, you can take a screenshot of both situations so that you know what could happen. So option A, it could bounce right there. You could have taken a screenshot there, just rewind a little bit and take a screenshot. And this is the second option, as we can see that this support could turn into a resistance if ever something bad happens to this, because our trend line, it's very overextended from it. It's very, yeah, it's overly extended from our trend line right here. So it does want to build some solid level of support in accordance to the trend line. So definitely gonna be seeing a pullback, but my thing here is it's gonna build some level of, you know, pullback down here, short-term pullback, while everyone kind of agrees on the price point that is fair for them and valuable enough. So we shall see what happens, but those are the two options that this could do as it tests this support once again earlier. So definitely a lot of selling pressure for green. So up next we have which closed at 7.05 or a negative 1.5%, and also had a lot more net foreign. So it did not bounce straight away. There was a doji candle here and it didn't decide to go up, but rather it went down a little bit more. So it's still not done going down over here. Yeah, there was still a short-term downtrend right here, and it hasn't stopped yet. Although if you look at it, they have found a support on this range that we were looking at previously in our older videos. This support level that we drew is definitely holding up, but we could see, you know, a retest of these bottoms right here. Yeah, let me see. I think I'll readjust it right here because it's not gonna, yeah, 6.85 is a good range to 7.1. That's a good range, definitely, for sure, for everyone to accumulate at. And if it does break below that, then yeah, you should probably be looking to, you know, cut your losses here, because it might retest 6.4 levels if it does break down even further. But if it does bounce, that's a good move, and it could retest as 7.6 levels and potentially create a lower high, and higher low, and maintain this uptrend right here. So yeah, if you want, you can take screenshots, or just rewind the video and watch what it can do. But based on my analysis, that is what's happening. And I think this really wants to build like an ascending triangle pattern right here. That's the best case scenario for it, because we are at support level right now, and there are definitely room for it to keep doing like this pattern right here. Man, I like this tool. This tool is kind of cool. At least it shows you, and it's easier for me to draw rather than pulling up multiple arrows all the time. But yeah, for it to maintain this uptrend, it has to bounce off from this trend line, which it did, which is a good sign. And hopefully Monday next week, or movements next week, should be within this range. Yeah, I can't predict what's gonna happen, but at least we have an idea what it can do. And if it does break down, yeah, this is another scenario. So it could keep its uptrend, but it could also break down, because it's at that level of support and range that it's kind of slightly undecided still what it wants to do. So these are the two options that it could do. Definitely looking for it to do the positive movement, but anything could happen, and the market will do what it wants to do. So up next we have FNI, where we were looking for it to break above, but it didn't. So I'm still hoping for this to pull back so that it maintains its healthy movement, because we are pretty far away from this uptrend right here. Yeah, it's kind of overextended, and definitely it definitely wants to build some level of support on this trend line. And that would be, where is that area? Right here. So hopefully it does hold at a level somewhere around 2.9, 2.85 to 2.9, I think. Yeah, so it's still pulling back. Not sure where it wants to hold a level of support yet, but 2.9, 2.85 to 2.95, that's a very volatile area where it could potentially touch. But hopefully, because our last support level was at 2.8, but pullbacks usually are not gonna pull back all the way, especially on a good market condition. So this is still unsure of what it wants to do, but I'm definitely watching this range at around 2.85 to 2.9 for it to pull back. 2.85 to 2.9. Let me note that for myself as well, because that is a good range for it to pull back. So if you're looking at the 4-hour time frame, yeah, it's very overextended from our trend line. So I'm hoping that it pulls back around this halfway level. If not, you would be looking at a pullback right around 2.8. But I think this is that's a good healthy movement already if it does pull back up to this point and create this movement and still have this ascending triangle for it to break above, because we still have a solid resistance at 3.05. So yeah, those are the levels I'm watching. You can take note of that as well for yourself if you want, but that's it for FNI. And up next we have Abacor. Man, our daily top 10 episodes are getting longer because there are more things that it could do now. Wow, that's pretty good. So our support level held up, moved a little bit on the upside, and this is definitely wanting to touch the 1.35 levels. But good thing, yeah, it did have a great push, went down a little bit, and then it's trying to push to the 1.30 levels. And if it does that, that would be a great thing to see, and maybe potentially pull back down at this price point. So yeah, I'm just looking for the resistances to turn support. If you don't want to buy, or if you were not able to buy at around 1.1 levels or 1.2 levels, definitely look for a new entry at around the break of resistance and a pullback there. So that's it for Abacor. And up next we have VUL. What is VUL doing? Wow, we haven't looked at this in a while. We haven't looked at this in a long while. So is it maintaining its uptrend? Kind of is. No, it broke the uptrend right here. Broke the uptrend, pierced through below it. So now we have this as our resistance now. Resistance level at around 259 to 2.59 to 2.79. So yeah, that is our resistance level that I'm looking at, because it got rejected right here, and then now our prices are down here, and this resistance was also pierced. So now we're looking for its next potential stop, which is probably around this area at 2.4. Our previous resistance that it broke, it's hoping to retouch that again to build another level of consolidation right around this area. That's it. So resistance is still up here, and it closed at 2.95 with a negative 16%. Wow, that's a huge move on the downside, sadly. But yeah, that's it for VUL. I think if your cut loss points have been broken, you should be looking to cut your losses, because this resistance was pierced. Yeah, it was pierced. An hourly candle was, it closed right below, so it will definitely act as resistance. The 3.07 area right here would definitely be acting as resistance in the future, immediate resistance. So yep, that's it for me for today. Let's look at a recap on PSEI with its great movement on the upside with the positive 76 points or 1.12%, even with a little bit of net foreign net. Oh, it did update. Foreign net is down, so there's a lot more sellers. Let me refresh this for you guys. Nope, it's still not showing here, I think. But yeah, it's now negative 500 million, which is fine. We still saw a positive movement, and this support level held up at 6850 to 6900 points, so that's good. We're still looking for it to continue its journey on the uptrend, as we now see this. We had a low right here, and now we have a new higher low. So hopefully this continues its move on the upside, or if not, it could potentially hopefully break this. So yeah, it's still on a symmetrical triangle movement right here, and hoping that it breaks above sometime soon. That would be nice. That would be nice. But yeah, that's it for me for today. Once again, yeah, this is Japhet from the Art of Trading. And if you picked up something from this video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. Let's hit around 30 likes for today. And if you want to be notified for my tutorial this weekend or for the next daily top 10, don't forget to hit that subscribe button right here. Literally takes a second to do that. And as always, remember to stay patient, be disciplined, and strive to be consistent with your trading. I'll see you guys on the next video. Have a great weekend, everybody. Enjoy the time off, enjoy the rest from the market, and yeah, I'll see you guys on the next video.